This is Manhattan, the original island of New York City, and also the commercial center of the world. More than 4 centuries ago, this place was a pristine and magnificent natural landscape, unlike any other along the northeastern coast of North America. A rich ecosystem with dense old-growth oak forests, vast wooded hills, a vibrant system of salt marshes. Yet the course of history and humanity's thirst for development created one of the most spectacular and complete transformations in modern urban history. Under the force of rapid industrialization and urbanization, that natural landscape was gradually erased, giving way to a towering concrete and steel jungle, reaching toward the sky. The once wild island was transformed into Manhattan, the financial, economic, and cultural heart not only of the United States, but of the entire world. Yet this extreme level of development has pushed the island into a harsh paradox. A rapidly growing population, while the supply of land in the city has been completely exhausted, driving real estate prices to unreasonable levels. The average rent for an apartment has exceeded $5,500 per month. The average value of a condominium has reached a record $1.25 million. This figure can even skyrocket to between $3.5 million and $5.5 million for a standard apartment. Manhattan is forced to face the classic survival problem of the modern city. With no other options, people have had to turn toward the surrounding waters, transforming rivers and the sea into building space. That is the plan to expand New York's land area by reclaiming more than 1,700 acres of land at the tip of Manhattan and calling the area New Mannahatta. Experts estimate that the project could cost more than $34 billion or even more than that. However, the project has faced a great deal of opposition and fierce reactions over its practicality. So what is the truth behind it? Is this just a pipe dream, or could it actually solve the city's biggest problem? Expanding and creating new land along coastlines is nothing new. Throughout history, many countries have undertaken mega projects to turn water into land in order to solve the problem of limited space. One of the most famous examples is in Europe, where the Netherlands has reclaimed so much land from the sea that it accounts for as much as 20% of the country's total land area. Through a system of dikes, water pumps, and careful long-term planning carried out over many decades, the Netherlands has enclosed areas with dikes and pumped out the water to create an entire new province, Flevoland, for agriculture and living space, while also expanding massive port areas, Maasvlakte, to develop its maritime economy. Or the Palm Islands in Dubai. The emirate transformed shallow Gulf waters into artificial islands, shaped like palm trees extending out into the sea. The project was carried out by dredging millions of cubic meters of sand from the seabed, spraying and shaping it using GPS positioning technology, and then reinforcing it with rocks around the edges to create hundreds of kilometers of new coastline for luxury resorts, ultra-luxury villas, and attracting tourists from around the world. But it should also be added that these artificial islands are actually gradually sinking due to waves and ocean currents constantly eroding and flattening the coastline. Creating an artificial island is contrary to the natural laws of water flow. But these mega projects still stand thanks to enormous technical and financial resources, becoming clear evidence that humans can completely redirect geography to create new habitable space. And this is also where we return to the story of New York. You see, New York has been facing a problem that has persisted for decades: the housing problem. Although the city is proud to have an impressive population of 8.5 million people, it simply does not have enough space to accommodate everyone. Going back in time to 1911, engineer Kennard Thompson once drew attention with a plan to expand Manhattan by 4 square miles. His proposal sparked a series of articles and countless artistic sketches. Nevertheless, the opportunity to turn this ambition into reality at the time was extremely slim. It was all little more than an optimistic vision of the future. It was not until November 2011 that the idea was seriously considered when Columbia University's Center for Urban Real Estate, CURE, unveiled the Low Plan, short for Lower Manhattan. Unlike the ambitious scale of earlier proposals, this plan was far more practical, reducing the amount of land to be reclaimed to 452 acres instead of 2,500 acres. However, the proposal ultimately generated little more than some buzz among local professionals before fading into obscurity. Things only truly heated up again in 2022, when economics professor Jason Barr presented a groundbreaking perspective aimed at solving the city's space crisis once and for all. He proposed reshaping Manhattan's waterfront by reclaiming an additional 1,760 acres of land, stretching between the Hudson River and the East River. In theory, the plan was expected to provide 187,000 new apartments, enough to meet the housing needs of nearly 250,000 residents. According to the calculations, the project would require about 15 years just to complete the land reclamation and create a usable land surface, followed by many more decades to finish building all the necessary infrastructure. This is considered one of the most ambitious plans in New York's history. Nevertheless, the biggest obstacle standing in the way of any land reclamation plan still lies in the financial equation. The cost of constructing a project on such a scale in the United States would always be astronomical, not to mention that the actual budget could easily end up doubling or even tripling compared to the initial estimate upon completion. Even so, experts like Dr. Barr have a completely opposite perspective. He argues that no matter how expensive the investment may be, the enormous commercial value generated by the newly created land would more than make up for it. This argument is entirely well-founded because New York is already among the world's most expensive real estate markets. Besides addressing the housing problem, Dr. Barr asserts that this new Manhattan land would also be the key to helping New York cope with climate change. In order to combat rising water levels and flooding caused by natural disasters, the reclaimed area would be surrounded by an ecological wetland system, combined with raising the ground and levees to proactively shield the city from future storms. From a technological standpoint, constructing New Manhattan is entirely within reach and would not face any technical obstacles. A project of this scale would even be considered only a medium-sized undertaking in countries like the Netherlands or the UAE. Nevertheless, the biggest stumbling block in the United States has always been the institutional factor. Countless paperwork procedures, numerous rounds of assessments, and cumbersome approval processes by various committees. In a state with a complex legal system like New York, this is precisely the reason why most mega projects become stalled or take many years before they can even get off the ground. Therefore, even though this project holds enormous potential and has received strong support from many experts over the years, the journey from the blueprint to actually pressing the button to break ground is still a very long one. Nevertheless, as the wave of discussion over expanding the city's boundaries once again intensifies, compounded by the increasingly severe housing crisis, New York will be forced to take groundbreaking steps if it truly wants to create a turning point in its development for the future.